1979, Azusa, California. Here, we meet a teenage boy named Rocky Dennis. Rocky has a rare and serious illness called craniodiaphyseal dysplasia. This condition causes his face to be unusually shaped, and many strangers think he's wearing a mask. But even with his condition, Rocky is a smart and regular teenager. He loves collecting baseball cards and saving money for a future motorcycle trip across Europe with his best friend Ben. Rocky's strength comes from his bold and honest mother, Rusty, and the kind but rough members of the Turks motorcycle gang. Rusty does everything she can to protect her son from discrimination. Rusty pulling up like a biker mama lion. She's not here to negotiate. She's here to bulldoze bias. Today, they go to North Avenue Junior High School to register Rocky, but the principal is shocked by how Rocky looks.
Hi, I'm here to register my son for the 9th grade.
Rusty doesn't waste time. She directly scolds the principal for making it hard to register her son. She shows Rocky's report card, proving he is among the top 5 students. She refuses the principal's suggestion to send Rocky to a school for children with disabilities. Instead, she demands that he get a fair education like everyone else. This principal really said, "Let's just hide the smart kid. Ma'am, please collect your L."
And he's told me of my rights. If you give me any shit at all, he's gonna drag your ass into court.
The principal is speechless, unsure of how to respond. Rocky stays calm, thanks the man, and says he's excited to learn. Later, Rocky goes for a regular medical checkup. The doctors measure his head, something they do often. They enjoy Rocky's playful personality. But today, a new doctor handles the exam. He is shocked by how normal everyone treats Rocky's condition. He collects all the needed information and asks to speak with Rocky's mother. He finds her sleeping in the waiting area. She's really out here napping in defiance. Respect.
Mrs. Dennis, I'm Dr. Vinton. I need to talk to you about the test results.
All right.
The doctor tells Rusty that due to Rocky's condition and limited life expectancy, there's not much they can do with surgery. Rusty nods. She already knows what to expect and what can or cannot be healed.
You see, he's got a cheeseburger waiting out there with his name on it, so I suggest you just hurry this along.
She strongly believes that Rocky has his own path in life, and doctors don't know everything. She argues with one doctor who says Rocky only has 3 to 6 months to live. 3 to 6 months. Rocky's like, watch me live longer just to spite you.
You know, for 12 years, I've been listening to you guys bullshit.
The weekend before school starts, Rusty takes Rocky to a Turks gang picnic. There, Rocky is happily welcomed as part of the group. He meets Ben, and as usual, they talk about motorcycles, travel dreams, and baseball stickers. Meanwhile, we see Rusty with one of the men. She's either buying or using drugs. Even though Rusty acts tough, she struggles with sadness. She uses drugs and sleeps around to deal with her pain. A man from her past arrives at the event. Rocky and Ben rush to him. He's the coolest guy to them. His name is Gar. Rusty can't stop staring at him. His return is unexpected. He used to be her lover. Oh snap, it's the ex with main character energy. This is about to get messy. Though there's history between them, it's over now. He also notices her, but doesn't try to interrupt her current relationship.
Well, Benny's waiting for you to get out of here. I'll see you later.
See you later, Gar.
You're right.
That night, Rocky comes home late. He sees his mom using drugs with her boyfriend. He quietly goes to his room and adds new stickers to his wall. He goes to bed early. Later that night, when her high fades, Rusty comes into his room and lies beside him. She cuddles and kisses him, showing her love despite her struggles. Okay, this broke me a little. She's lost, but she loves him. That hug, it hit different. The next morning, Rusty wakes up and starts smoking while making breakfast. Rocky walks in, nervous about his first day at school. He worries that kids will reject him because of how he looks. Rusty tells him he's beautiful on the inside.
Yeah, you're more beautiful on the inside than most people.
At school, a few boys at the entrance don't want to talk to him. Students stare, but Rocky walks alone. In class, the teacher nods to welcome him, and he finds a seat. The teacher then introduces 2 new students, a girl and Rocky.
Well, welcome back, 9th graders.
Everyone says hello to the girl, but when it's Rocky's turn, it's clear they already think he's strange. Wow, kids are brutal. It's giving Mean Girls Middle School edition. At lunch, some bullies laugh and whisper about him. But Rocky is smart and confident. He knows how to handle these moments with wit.
Hey, what's the matter? Haven't you guys ever seen anybody from the planet Vulcan before?
Later at his locker, Rocky helps another student who forgot the locker combination. Rocky remembers it because he overheard it earlier. The student is surprised by Rocky's sharp memory and begins to like him. Back at home, there's a party with bikers from the gang. Gar also shows up. Rusty is using drugs again. Meanwhile, Rocky goes upstairs with Ben to plan their future trip to Europe. Their dreams are big.
Wow. You know, Gar always said that the best run was right here across Europe.
Rusty sees Gar, who is with another woman. She clearly wants his attention, but Gar walks away with his date, even though Rusty keeps watching him. Sis, blink twice if you need help. That stare's got unfinished business written all over it. The next day at school, the teacher asks if anyone knows anything about the Trojan War. No one raises their hand except Rocky. He stands up and explains the story of the Trojan horse in a funny and creative way. His classmates are impressed by his humor, charm, and intelligence.
And that's how the Trojan War began.
The student Rocky helped earlier now asks for tutoring help. Rocky agrees for $6. They make a deal. My man's out here starting a tutoring empire. Gotta fund that Euro trip somehow. Classic witty Rocky. That evening, Rusty comes home late. She seems distant. Rocky tries to read her a poem he wrote, but she's not paying attention. He asks her to stay home, but she ignores him, dresses up to go out, and tells him to do the dishes instead of bothering her. The moment turns into a fight, and Rocky finally snaps. He throws dishes and glasses in anger.
I hate you going out all the time and coming home wasted.
He's deeply worried about his mom's wild and dangerous lifestyle. He begs her to get help for her addiction. But instead of listening, she mocks him and shows him how it feels when someone invades your private life and decisions.
Don't!
Now, both are upset. Rusty goes out, Rocky slams his door shut. Neither of them apologizes. This is the we love each other but don't know how to help each other kind of pain. Later that night, Rusty comes home with another man, but she hears something from Rocky's room. She walks in and finds him holding his head in pain. He has a severe headache. She comforts him, and together they say calming words that help ease his pain.
Give this pain in the morning.
The next day, Rusty apologizes and promises to reduce her drug use. They repair their relationship. Soon, they visit an amusement park. The boys ride bumper cars and have a lot of fun with the gang. Gar also points and keeps watching Rusty.
Yeah, except my Rocky.
Later, Rusty's drug dealer tries to offer her some drugs, but she refuses. She says she promised her son that she'd quit. She then runs toward the mirror maze to find Rocky. After searching, she runs into Gar. He pulls her close and kisses her. She doesn't resist. She's been hoping for this all day. Meanwhile, Rocky and Ben are already inside. They are shocked by something unexpected.
Ben? What? Look at me. Huh?
When Rusty arrives and asks what's going on, Rocky shows her a picture of what he might look like without his facial condition. Rusty tears up. Okay, who's cutting onions in here? That drawing hit straight in the feels. Later, everyone gathers around a fire, singing and having fun. Rusty and Rocky are the stars of the night. Rusty keeps teasing Gar even with her old boyfriend present. Back at home, Rusty and Gar boldly enter the house kissing. Rocky doesn't say anything and bids farewell to the other riders. Soon, Rocky starts noticing a blonde girl in his class who sits in front of him. However, she is with another guy and doesn't find Rocky attractive. She asks him if he's planning to go to prom, and he says he doesn't know. Oof, the do I even belong at prom moment? This is every teen movie, but sadder. After she leaves, Rocky is approached by the principal, who offers him a spot in a summer camp program designed for blind kids. Initially, Rocky hesitates, saying his mom needs him at home. But when the principal insists, he agrees to consider it for the summer, though he's not sure it's necessary for him.
I'll think about it. Bye-bye.
At home, Rocky feels down and barely responds when spoken to. He suddenly asks Rusty what she would think about him if he were a girl his age. Rusty says she would like him for his personality, but Rocky doesn't believe her.
I want to talk to another plastic surgeon.
Soon, Rocky becomes upset about his inability to attract girlfriends, and his anxiety affects Rusty's mood. When she goes to a bar to buy drugs, she hires a prostitute named Lori and brings her to Rocky's bedroom. Lori is briefly startled by Rocky's face but soon relaxes and asks him what he wants from their encounter. However, Rocky is more interested in talking about his European travel plans. He shows Lori a map on his wall, explaining that he and Ben mark every destination on their planned road trip with a thumbtack. After talking all night about dreams and aspirations, Lori bids Rocky farewell with a kiss on the cheek. Rocky then confronts his mother about interfering in his personal life.
Do I look like a freak to you?
Despite Rusty's good intentions, Rocky feels insulted by his mother's gift and believes she wouldn't have hired a prostitute if she truly thought he could attract a girlfriend on his own. He begins to doubt Rusty's belief in being beautiful on the inside, and his mood darkens. He's spiraling now. This isn't about girls. It's about self-worth.
Bullshit, Mom!
Rock, where you going?
As time passes, Rocky worries about not having nice clothes to wear to his junior high school graduation. Others suggest just wearing jeans, saying it's not a big deal. However, when Gar asks him to get a beer from the fridge, Rocky is surprised to find the new suit waiting for him inside, a gift from Rusty and her friends in the Turks gang.
We all chipped in, and Gar picked it out.
At the ceremony, Rocky wins top awards for academic achievement in almost every subject, thrilling his family and friends. They stand up and applaud with pride.
Rocky Dennis.
Top of the class and best dressed? He's graduating like a legend. After the graduation, Rocky sees the blonde girl from his class and she wishes him a great summer. The guy he tutors is also with her, and Rocky feels a bit envious of their relationship, wishing he could have a girlfriend too. Sometime later, Rocky's grandparents visit and he is happy to see them. Inside, Gar warmly welcomes them, but Rusty is nowhere to be found, probably out getting high despite her family's constant disapproval of her actions. While walking around the hallways, Rocky's grandfather comes across Rusty and she says hello to him.
Looking like a million, eh?
You look great too, Pop.
Soon in the kitchen, however, the father begins to indirectly criticize and judge Rusty's life choices.
You like roast?
Yeah, I couldn't chew it the last time.
He mentions a time when she set up a meeting for Rusty with one of his important coworkers, and how Rusty appeared unpresentable with her outfit and makeup on the day of the interview.
She shows up in this kooky outfit with her hair all the way up to here, and
Rusty is upset by her domineering and judgmental father. The tension fills the room between the families. The silence is broken when Rocky finds Dodger game tickets in one of the magazines placed by his grandfather. He is happy and asks Rusty if he can go with him. The two quickly head out and Rusty turns to her pills. Oh no, not the pills again, Rusty. We were doing so well. Abort mission. Gar tries to tell her she shouldn't, reminding her that her dad always triggers her, but she shouldn't give in. However, Rusty responds coldly saying, "Why should you be any different than any guy I've been with?" This prompts Gar to leave the room and her alone. Later that night, Rocky and his grandparents return home to drop him off. Inside, however, Rocky finds Rusty completely disoriented and high as a kite. She is almost disassociating and doesn't look alert. Her parents see her with disappointment. Holding a baseball in her hand, she throws it at her father. He doesn't understand why and passes it back to her. However, she throws it again with anger, showing her hatred toward him. She really said, "Catch this generational trauma, Dad." The tension rises and the grandparents decide to call it a night and leave. After their departure, Rocky asks her what she did.
What'd you do today, Mom? Some smack?
He scolds her, reminding her that she had promised not to use drugs again, especially not in front of her parents. Rusty is disappointed, and Rocky questions why she puts him through all this. He decides not to stay at home all summer. Thus, he accepts a counselor's assistant job at a sleepaway camp for blind children and leaves home for the first time. Upon arriving, the students get off the bus and line up for attendance.
Hey, you in the back, take that mask off so I can see who I'm talking to.
Looking around the area, Rocky's eyes are drawn to a new blind blonde girl who is beautiful enough to catch his attention. That night while in bed, Rocky experiences one of those severe headaches that make him weep and sweat heavily.
Myself.
He hums the same poem to soothe himself. The next day, he assists young blind boys in a contest and stays behind when he spots the blind girl in the distance.
One strike.
She is tending to a horse, and he approaches her to start a conversation. He saw her and went straight into Disney Prince mode. I half expected the horse to start singing. He introduces himself as Rocky, and she tells him her name is Diana Adams. He comments that she looks like Alice in Wonderland, but she says she's never seen her. She mentions having a horse at home and being a horse enthusiast. After a short chat, she asks him to take her to lunch, and Rocky gladly agrees.
I'm starving. Could you take me to lunch?
Back at home, Rusty struggles to write a letter to her son, whom she misses deeply and feels apologetic toward. She asks Gar to help her write it, but ends up breaking down, unable to hold back her tears. Okay, no jokes here. Just a broken mom trying to say sorry to her kid. This hurts, man. Later, we see Diana and Rocky riding horses. Diana mentions how she doesn't or can't identify colors since she was born blind and has no context of what a color is. While resting by the sea, Rocky tells her about his friend Ben and how they dream of visiting Europe one day, saving money for the trip and all. They chat for a long time and share an apple together. At one point, Rocky mentions his condition to Diana, a disease that makes his face look really unreal. Curious, Diana tries to touch and feel his face, but he stops her.
Come on, Rocky, gonna be a chicken.
After much hesitation, he lets her touch him and she feels every inch of his face. Though it may feel uncomfortable, Rocky is eager to hear what she has to say.
You look pretty good to me.
Shortly after, their picture is taken together as part of the camp's memories, and the duo poses for a keepsake. Later that day, Rocky privately talks with the chef and brings Diana to the kitchen, promising to show her something.
Have you located? No. Come right up here. Now, sit down at the left.
He wants to help her understand colors through touch. First, he gives her a frozen stone and says it's blue.
This is green.
Then he gives her a hot one and tells her that it's red, and when it cools down, it will be pink. That's a pretty good explanation, Rocky. He just turned color theory into a masterclass. Bob Ross would be proud. He then gives her cotton and tells her that it's pillowy, which is white. Diana now has a context to understand colors.
And this is beautiful.
At night, there is a dance party and everyone is dancing, including Diana and Rocky. He admits that tonight is a memory he will always treasure and never forget. It's a New Year's celebration, and together they count down and welcome the new year.
10 seconds to New Year's. 9, 8.
The mood is intense and Rocky leans in to kiss her, something she clearly wants to. It's his first time, so he feels nervous, but still calm enough to blow her a kiss. Then comes a real, passionate kiss that lasts longer than a few seconds. Rocky has already fallen in love with her. When the camp session ends, Diana's parents are not happy to see Rocky by her side. They are even more upset when they find out the two are in a relationship. Somehow they believe Rocky is taking advantage of Diana's blindness. Of course, the parents think Rocky's a villain, typical rich people in a Hallmark movie behavior. But Diana, innocent and kind, only sees the beauty of who Rocky is inside.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, Rocky.
Yes. Come on, honey, let's go.
Bye.
Call me, okay?
She asks him to keep calling her often, and he promises he will. But his mood drops because he feels like they don't have a future, especially with their parents in the way. Soon, Rusty and the gang show up and happily reunite with Rocky. Rusty has missed him a lot, and even Gar is overjoyed to see him.
Hey, Gar. How you doing?
Hey, where's your stuff?
Over there.
Rusty tells him that she's now clean as a whistle, meaning she has quit drugs for good. Rocky tells them about his new girlfriend, and everyone congratulates him.
I met a girl. We're going out.
He says Diana is beautiful and smart, and she loves him for who he truly is. Rusty hugs him, happy that his dream has finally come true. At home, after several days, Rocky says he keeps calling Diana, but her parents always tell him she's not home. Rocky gets more disappointed when his friend Ben tells him he's moving away to live with his father. That ends their shared dream of traveling to Europe.
What about the trip?
I'm sorry, Rocky.
Ben says he isn't coming back and gives Rocky his share of the travel money, suggesting Rocky can go alone. But that only makes Rocky angry.
Rocky.
They argue, and Rocky, upset, throws the money at Ben and calls him stupid. Damn, that was some "you dead to me" energy. These two need a friendship intervention ASAP. Shortly, Rusty steps in to stop the fight before it gets worse, and Ben leaves with tears in his eyes. Trying to fix things, Rocky picks up the phone and calls Diana's house again. Her mother answers and gives him the same excuse. When he asks if Diana knows he's been calling, she says yes. Thinking Diana is ignoring him, Rocky breaks down and cries. But the truth is, her parents don't tell Diana about the calls and are trying to keep them apart.
Baby, don't cry.
Soon after, Rocky goes back to school. While walking in the hallway, a student bullies him and tells him his face is a mask and he should take it off. Rocky snaps, pins the bully against a locker, and defends himself.
I'll take my mask off if you take your mask off, you son of a bitch.
Later at home, Gar shares sad news with the family. One of the Turk gang members, Red, has died. As a memorial, the gang gathers and gives him a proper farewell. They play the guitar and shoot bullets in the air as part of their tradition. Rocky sits alone feeling low and maybe thinking about his own short life. At home, Rocky takes the saved travel money and dresses up, saying he needs to go somewhere. Gar and Rusty let him go, and he uses the money to buy a bus ticket. He heads across town to Foxtail Stables, where Diana keeps her horse. Diana is surprised and happy to see him. When they talk in private, she realizes her parents have been hiding Rocky's calls.
Why didn't you call?
I called you. You never called me back.
She also tells him she's leaving for a school for the blind on Monday. It's a great opportunity for her. Staying positive, Rocky reminds her that their love is endless and says they can always run away together in their imaginations. Diana tells him that she really loves him and will never forget the time they shared at the camp. Rocky feels the same, and they share another deep kiss. The only thing blinder than Diana is my hope that they'll end up together somehow. When Rocky returns home, he says he feels sick and goes to bed early, even before the gang leaves. In his room, he takes the pins off his map of Europe for no clear reason, maybe just a feeling. He gets in bed and tries to sleep. After the others leave, Rusty quietly checks on him. He is asleep but whispers that his head hurts. Rusty quietly leaves and closes the door, wishing him a peaceful sleep. The next morning, Gar goes out to run errands. Rusty gets a phone call from someone asking for Rocky. She says he's at school, but the boy on the line says he's not there either. Feeling worried, Rusty walks into Rocky's room. She opens the curtains and tries to wake him, saying it's getting late, but Rocky doesn't move. When she touches him, his body is cold and still. She realizes what has happened.
Don't pull this shit with me, Rocky. Come on, baby, make yourself well.
She understands that Rocky is gone. Tearfully, she goes to the living room to calm herself. She looks for pills or any clue but finds nothing. Then she starts breaking things, unable to control her mix of sadness, fear, and anger. She slowly gathers herself and returns to Rocky's room. Sitting beside his lifeless body, she lets herself cry one more time. Then her eyes fall on the map he once filled with dreams of travel. The pins are scattered, but she gently picks them up and places them back on the map one by one. Later at his grave, Rusty stands quietly. There is sadness in her eyes, but also a sense of peace. In her heart, she knows Rocky is finally free to go wherever he wants, just like he always dreamed. His spirit now travels without limits.